The new Roadrunners fall sports season is set to get underway here in September, and there is excitement in the air.
I'm so excited to have a somewhat normal season. I mean, if that's what you could call it. Obviously, there's still obstacles we'll have to overcome.
So excited. I'm literally so hyped. I've been waiting for this for over 2 years now. Haven't had preseason in a long time.
COVID-19 shut everything down in 2020, and it was hard for these student athletes who had their worlds turned upside down.
Especially with the COVID season last year, having to move to 5 classes online and for me to come to a completely new school, not be in the gym, not be around in classes, it was extremely hard.
For me personally, last season I did decide to opt out just because it was too much and I knew I couldn't handle it. I'm somebody who knows I like to control every situation and I like to know what's going to happen, and not knowing like if we were going to be able to practice or what the day was going to look like was just eating me alive. I couldn't handle it, so I did have to step away for a little bit.
And their mental health was a big part of that.
Obviously, the current climate is different with COVID and political tensions and social justice movements, and there's a lot more going on. But I think one of the biggest changes has been social media, cell phones. You know, as I was playing, cell phones were just becoming a thing, and we weren't doing social media. We didn't hear about everything going on in the world and feel that pressure or feel that tension of things. We were kind of more isolated in our own world.
With the recent news about Simone Biles pulling out of Olympic events due to mental health, these student athletes applauded her for putting herself first.
Totally supported what she did. I know it was a really hard decision and it did affect her team, but I think it was the best decision for her and her safety, both mentally and physically.
And speaking of pressure, these Roadrunners have a ton on their plate as they go through their college experience.
They usually say, you know, student athlete is doing a part-time job in their sports as well as trying to be a full-time student. And then when you put everything else that's going on outside of that, whether that's things going on in their personal life or with their family or, you know, grandparents dying, we've dealt with a lot of that over the last year. And, you know, those pressures continue to mount on top of each other, but they still are expected to do their job in the meantime, just like when they step out into the real world.
Mental health is a real issue, especially with student athletes. MSU Denver is a place where they can talk about those issues and get the counseling they need.
I mean, even in my classes, that's our first topic we talk about. Like, even with non-student athletes, our professor's like, if you need help, let me know. I know there's a lot going on with COVID and family, and back home, you're all home. So, I mean, Metro has always been a great support system for student athletes and non-athletes. So.